Hey you guys, what's up? My name is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel, Essential Endeavors, where we are finding the essentials together. If you are new here, I am a part-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and MERCARI, and I primarily resell clothing and shoes for men, women, and for kids. Here on my YouTube, I like to do videos to help you along your reseller journey and to show you a little bit of insight into mine as well. So there's a question that I've been getting a lot lately is how to measure clothing. Maybe jeans specifically. Jeans were personally a hard part for me to wrap my head around in the beginning. I don't know why, but it just did. So maybe having a clear video for you could really help you when you are selling jeans online. Maybe to resell for profit or just to sell them just to sell them. So I'm gonna give you my top 3 areas of where to measure to make sure your listing is complete when selling jeans. And then I'm also gonna give you 3 additional little tips that I don't necessarily do for every listing, but it's good to have the knowledge about it just in case a buyer is curious about it when purchasing your item. All right, so I have these jeans right here. They're Hudson jeans, and I'm just gonna use this as an example. All right, so my first point of measurement is the width. The width across the top. This is gonna be when you're laying it flat. So I'll do some B-roll up there for you of how I actually measure it. But you're gonna be doing it from one side to the other, which is the width, and then you would end up multiplying it by 2, which would give you the waist measurement. So for these, from one side to the other like this, I would do it laying flat to be more accurate, but you would just measure it at the top. And I have right about 13 inches on that. So you multiply that by 2, the width should be about 26 inches. Let's see if this has it on here, the width. Usually jeans will tell you. All right, so these were exactly 25 inches. So I probably wasn't exact. You kind of want to make sure there's no drooping or sagging. So that's why it's always good to do it laying flat. But it's also good to take pictures of the actual size, whatever the size tag says in there for your buyer, because sometimes brands might say one thing but fit a different way. It's always good to include your measurements and to include the size tag as well. My second main place to measure for jeans is the rise. The rise is in right now. It's the rise of the high rise. Most people love high rise right now, but everybody's body is different, and that's wonderful. Some people really love low rise jeans, so I know a lot of resellers say that they don't pick them up. But I have sold so many low-rise jeans because people's bodies are different and they're looking for that. So just keep that in mind when you're in the thrift stores. But the rise will be from the waist down to the crotch. And it isn't always exactly directly down to the bottom of the crotch. It'll just be to this inseam where like all the points meet, but it'll be right down to that line right in there. So I will do that real quick. From the top down to the crotch of the inseam, and ideally this will be laying flat, so I'll have it up in a video up here. But the inseam on here is a little over 8 inches, 8 1/4. So the inseam was 8 1/4, so that's about a low to mid rise typically for people. It really depends on their body. So if somebody asks me what rise might fit them, I usually, from my research, I've known that a low rise will sit about 2 to 4 inches below someone's belly button, and then a mid rise will go right underneath the belly button, and then the high rise usually sits at the natural waistline, which is usually quite above the belly button, but it varies for people. So usually you'll just recommend that somebody measure from their belly button down to where they want their jeans to hit. So, or up. Down or up from their belly button. All right, and so my third main point of measurement, one that I take pictures of every time, is the inseam. There's a difference between, the inseam is very specific. It's the length of the leg, but it's not the actual physical from top to bottom length of the leg. That's what I kind of got confused with when I initially started. I thought the length was just, okay, cool, top to bottom. But that's not the way jeans fit. The inseam will then go from your crotch all the way down to the bottom, not from the waist to the bottom. So the inseam is from, remember, where everything comes together. So start your measurement there and then just lay it flat all the way to the bottom. And then you will get your inseam, which is the length of the leg. Well, it's really the length of the jeans, but it's specifically the length of the leg because it helps people to figure out if it's gonna fit them. Some people have shorter legs, some people have longer legs. it's really good to get the inseam because then you'll know if it fits them and it will avoid people buying the wrong size. At least you tried, you gave the measurement. Those are your main points. So in my listings, I always leave a space to fill in from my pictures while I am in my listing process. I always include the width measurement, the rise, and then the inseam, and whatever the actual written size is on the pants. Women will typically have a sizing that is an even number, so like a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on and so forth. And then for other brands, it will be the actual waist size. So these are 25, so that could be equivalent of anywhere from a 0 to 2, but every brand is different. I always reference the brand sizing chart. So I would suggest you do that. Just do a quick Google search. These, I would just say Hudson jean size chart. Look it up and see what might be equivalent there. So those are my 3 main points. I will always take pictures of those 3 places because those are the main points where people suggest people to measure to find the right size for their jeans. However, some people are in different situations and it's good to recognize that when you are a seller online and to be flexible to get these additional measurements for them if that's what they ask for. So I don't take measurements of these, like pictures and measurements in my description of these other additional bonus measurement places. I will go and get it if somebody asks for it. You might want to be aware of how to measure these. So my first bonus tip is to know how to measure the thigh width. All right, to measure the thigh, you would just go 2 inches below the crotch. So right about here. And then you would measure straight across. The second bonus area of where you might need to measure is the calf width. So just like this opening down here at the bottom, which is usually on people's calves, and all you'll do is measure it from one side to the other and you'll have a calf measurement for them. And then the third bonus tip of where you might want to be aware of something else is the ability of the fabric to stretch. Sometimes people will ask, does it stretch and how much does it stretch? That was a very interesting question. I had to do research on it when I got it first. I'm like, how am I gonna measure how much it stretches? So just from where it's sitting and then to stretch on it, you can measure. Usually I will eyeball it, so it'll come out here, and that's giving you about an extra inch in stretchability. So let's see if I can measure that. So we'll start from here. We know that across it was about 5 inches, and then stretched, we're over to 6. So to normal, we're at about 5, and then we'll stretch it. It's kind of a little tricky, but now you're at an additional inch. So I've gotten to a point where I can stretch it and eyeball it, but you can still measure it. You can still measure it and see kind of the amount of stretch and give that it has. Not many people will ask for that, but it is good to just know if it is a stretchy material or not. Just give it a slight pull. You'll be able to tell if it's stretchy or not, or if it's real thick. Stretch is in. People like stretch. I love stretch. I want to be able to do a bunch of things in it. So those are my tips. Those were my 3 main places where I will always measure your width, your rise, and your inseam. And then my 3 bonus ones to know about if you do get questions are the thigh, the calf, and the stretchability of it. So there you go. I hope you guys found this super helpful. Make sure to like the video because it'll be shown more to people that could really benefit from these types of videos. So I would really appreciate it. And it also tells me if you like videos like this so I can make more. You can also do that by leaving a comment down below. I will always reply to you. I'm not on any social media. I'm only here on YouTube. So the best way to contact me is via a comment. So it might not be immediate, but I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you like content like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm putting out new videos twice a week on my reseller journey and tips and tricks to help you on yours as well. So I would love if you would subscribe. So with that said, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you in my next video. So take care, bye.